Introduction to network theory. What is a network? Network theory is the study of graphs as representations of either symmetric relations or asymmetric relations between discrete objects in computer science and in network science. Network theory is a part of graph theory. A network can be defined as a graph in which nodes and/or edges have attributes. A graph is a collection of nodes and edges that represents relationships. Nodes are vertices that corresponds to objects. Edges are the connections between objects. The graph's edges sometimes have weights which indicate the strength or some other attribute of each connection between the nodes. So this is the directed graph. So we can see that we have nodes or vertex and the edges. So directed graphs have edges with direction. So the edges indicate a one-way relationship in that each edges can only be transverse a single direction. This figure shows a simple directed graph with 7 nodes and 6 edges. So next is the undirected graph. So directed graphs have edges that do not have a direction. So the edges indicates a two-way relationship in that each edges can be transverse in both directions. This figure shows a simple undirected graph with 6 nodes and 4 edges. So ang different ng dalawang graph, which is the directed graph and undirected graph, is yung directed graph is with direction, while yung undirected graph ay do not have a direction. And also yung directed graph ay nag-indicate siya ng one-way relationships, while yung undirected graph ay nag-indicate naman siya ng two-way relationships. So friendship network, the term that is applied to the interconnected relationships among a group of friends who provide social and emotional support for each other. Next is scientific collaboration network. Scientific collaboration network is a social network where nodes are scientists and links are co-authorships, as the latter is one of the most well-documented forms of scientific collaboration. Next is business ties in US biotech industry. The traditional model of fully integrated companies covers the full value creation cycle from discovery through development and commercialization. The genetic interaction network. A global genetic interaction network highlights the functional organization of a cell and provides a resource for predicting gene and pathway function. So this network emphasizes the prevalence of genetic interactions and their potential to compound phenotypes associated with single mutations. Next is the PPIN, or protein-protein interaction network. This is the mathematical representations of the physical contacts between proteins in the cell. These contacts are specific, occur between defined binding regions in the proteins. So next, the transformation networks. The transformation networks generally refer to a set of links, nodes, and lines that represents the infrastructure or supply side of the transportation. So the links have characteristics such as speed and capacity. For roadways, frequency and travel time data are defined, or transit links or lines for the transit system. Next is the Internet. So the Internet can be described a communication system consisting of certain components between which certain interactions are observable to an observer. So the environment provides a structural coupling between the net and its support from the environment. last is the ecological networks. So, the ecological networks are the representations of the interactions that occur between species with a community. So, the interactions include competition, mutualism, and predation, and network properties of particular interests include stability and structure. So, this is the history of graph. So, although the first mention of a graph was not until 1878, so graph theoretical ideas can be traced back to 735, when Leonhard Euler, 1707 to 83, represented his solution of the Königsberg-Bridges problem. This chapter summarizes some important strands in the development of graph theory since that time. So, ito si Leonhard Euler. Next is the cycles in polyhedra. In geometric graph theory, a branch of mathematics, a polyhedral graph is the undirected graph formed from the vertices and edges of a convex polyhedron. Alternatively, in purely graph theoretic terms, the polyhedral graphs are the three vertex connected planar and graph. So, yung cycles in polyhedra daw is siya yung undirected graph form. So, next is the trees in electrical circuits. So, the tree consists of all the nodes of the electrical or electric network. A tree has the number of branches which is less than one number of nodes of the electric network. A tree must not have any closed path in any part of it. There may be many different possible trees in same electric network. So, last is the four colors of maps. So, the four color theorem states that the vertices of any planar graph can be colored with at most four colors, such that no adjacent vertices are the same color. So, that's all po. So, ito yung mga aking natutunan about sa network theory or sa introduction to network theory. So, thank you po.